little bit to the wire this morning. I suddenly looked up, saw it was 11 o'clock and pressed live. Really ill prepared. So excuse me why I kind of juggle things around a bit as I was in the depths of emails and soup making and doing a lot of, kind of stuff. Morning to everyone that's joining. Happy Sunday. Happy sunny Sunday in London. It is extremely sunny right now. And it's been a bit of a crazy one, actually. Hello from Bali. Oh, I haven't been to Bali, but I want to go to Bali. Hello from Soggy Cornwall. Drizzly red car, good morning from Norway. I've got sun in London. Hello, good morning from a stormy and black skies in Milton Keynes. Oh wow, really? Yeah, no, it's quite sunny here. I don't think it's going to last. Good morning from London. Good afternoon, good evening, Sydney. Evening, Sydney, coming your way. Well, not quite, going to China tomorrow. Hello from Oz, hello from Melbourne, hello from Surrey. We are an international group. Hello from Bath, love the lamps I bought from you. Thank you. Hello from Holland, hello from Seattle. Good evening, South Australia and Spain. Wow, such an international group. It's lovely to welcome everyone from Belfast, which is in, did you say Dull? I think it's coming that way. North London. You'd love the food. Oh my God. I love food. It's wet in Yorkshire. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. Morning from round the corner. Good morning from round the corner. I think we are in for a bit of drizzle, which, I mean, the gardens need it, so I'm not going to get too worried about it. Our garden desperately needs it. Morning from Liverpool. Hello from Burton-on-Trent. Good morning. Well, today, obviously here on a live to ask whatever you want in terms of decorating dilemmas, which always come up time and time again. Massive storm last night. I had such a terrible night's sleep last night. I mean, my sleep is getting worse and worse. And yeah, it was very stormy. Hello, Toronto. Holidaying in the Lake District. Oh, how nice. It's raining here in Worcestershire. Is it? Yeah, Malta. It's sunny in Malta. It's there's a heat warning where I'm going tomorrow, which is Shanghai. And it feels like 40 degrees. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. So I think it's going to be a little bit full on. Morning, New Jersey, USA. Good morning, good morning. Hello from Kings Lynn. Good morning, good morning. How is everybody? As you can see here on the sunny Sunday afternoon, morning actually, it is a little bit sunny behind me and in front of me, but I'm not sure it's actually going to keep up with the sun. And it's funny, isn't it, at this time of year, because I don't know about you, but it's getting a little bit nippier in the morning. Well, this side of the world anyway. So, those early morning grounding walks with no shoes on around the garden. It's like, ooh, take a breath. I mean, I kind of love September. I don't really love August. I don't know, there's something about August that I think my parents never loved August, and I think it's really rubbed off on me. I don't know why. Anyway, I just don't really love August as a month, but I love September. So I feel like, with a new season, I'm trying, I don't know if anyone's seen it, but I'm trying to see if anybody is, sorry, I was a bit thrown there, super encouraged with all my wellness tips and tricks. So there's lots of weird ones coming up, I should say. On last Monday, I wore my hair up, which I never ever do, never wear my hair up, because I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone. I think, and I can't remember the scheduling because I don't do the scheduling, but I think in 2 weeks' time, I'm literally in the shower, which you'll see, screaming, because I'm giving myself a cold water shower, which is supposed to be really good. Does anyone do it? Has anyone tried it? It's supposed to be really, really good for kind of oxygenating all the blood cells and kind of getting everything flowing. And so I'm speaking to you naked in a shower, screaming, because September is a reset month. And reset months are all about recalibrating, thinking about, what didn't work in the last season, what you want to introduce. And so that's why I've kind of, gone on to reset. How did I lose all the weight? Okay, a couple of things. So what did I do? I stopped eating a lot of carbs. I worked out a lot more. and I fast. So I haven't eaten yet. So I have about 15 hours from when I finish eating to when I begin. 15 hours. And that has really kind of helped a lot on the weight loss. But I've also really reduced all my carbs. And it's hard with the fasting thing because when I travel so much, so I spent a lot of time in America because we've launched in the States now. So I'm back and forth to America all the time. But I spent a lot of time on the traveling, and also this week when I'm off to Shanghai, it's really hard to do the fasting thing. So I've gotten Jem into it, and she's beginning to do fasting. So it's just really hard when we travel. So you have to be, I'm not rigorous about it. You just have to be quite relaxed about it. Right, hold on. I can't answer all these questions. Love September. Hello, Derry. Loving new things. Your skin is amazing. What skincare do you use? Oh, thank you. Wildsmith. Please share how you lost all your weight. All done that. Morning, I'm going to go straight. I have a non-symmetrical room with 2 accent chairs and I don't know how to position them. You have a non-symmetrical room with 2 accent chairs and you don't, any kind of armchair if you possibly can. I'm just going to show you if you can possibly angle. So let me just step over Monkey. Monkey has been a little bit poorly this week. He had to be rushed into the vet, but we're back on it now. So can you see how I've just kind of angled them? Or if you're not angling them, to have a shelf behind them because it makes all the difference in the world. So accent chairs are really good when you can actually put them on an angle. It kind of makes a big old difference if you possibly can. And always with an accent chair, step over Monkey. Oh look, I'm cooking soup. I'm making, hold on, you're looking at me. I need you to look at the soup. Look, such a yummy soup. It's called Mum's Beetroot and Ginger Soup. It's all in there. So I just thought before I get on that plane, and I absolutely cannot stand flying. I have so much anxiety, and my sister who I travel with does not help my anxiety. So if I go, what's that noise? What's that noise? That noise doesn't sound normal. She'll tease me about it. She goes, oh, I don't know. It doesn't sound normal, does it? And then I get myself in a really terrible old state. So anyway, hope that helps. Loved your hair up. I hated my hair up. It was so uncomfortable. But thank you. I can't remember how many views that video got. I think the marketing team were telling me it was over 100,000 views. Which is a bit weird because I was doing it. The reason I did it, not because I wanted to show you with my hair up, because I hate my hair up. The reason I did it is because I want September to be a month where we all reset, right? Recalibrate, reset, and work out what we can do differently and what we can reintroduce into our lives that's gone. Or if there's anything, I suppose for me, the thing about a new season, and I think this is quite key for lots of us, it's really easy to just, I suppose, when it comes to health and wellness and gyms, to kind of get it out of stuff a bit. And so September is a kind of a really great resetting month to go, okay, well, I sort of let that go and now I'm back into it. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Changing my living room up, just bought an inky navy sofa and thinking caramel type walls, beautiful. But what would you advise? All of those colors are beautiful. So if you've got a really inky, swampy blue, anything like caramel and burnt toffee, beautiful. And any kind of soft pinks, also really beautiful. Ice bath, I can't do an ice bath, oh my God. I can just about do a cold shower, and there was a lot of screaming in that video. I can't do an ice bath, I can't. I know it's really good. I don't know if any of you watched Trini, and she did an ice bath when she was away, and she said it was amazing. I don't think I can do an ice bath. But they are supposed to be amazing. In the video with your hair up, you had lovely trousers on. Can you tell me where they're from? Oh God, I can't remember. Oh, Cos. But I think they were a couple of, no, were they last year? I think they were last year. Were they slouchy kind of cords? I like kind of slouchy, masculine, I can't stand anything around my stomach. Everything has to go on and sit on the hip. I'm a bit funny about stomachs. I always turn the shower to cold at the end. Oh, do you? I can't do cold at the end. I have to do cold in the beginning. So I go in and start all my screaming and it's freezing, and then it goes to warm, and then I'm okay. If I was doing it at the end, which is probably the best way to do it, but if I was doing it at the end, I feel like I would be really depressed waiting for it to go cold. Always finish with cold rinse. Yeah, you're so much better than me. It's unbearable. Wait till you see the video. Literally, I'm screaming at the top of my head. I'm screaming. Read the William Hof book. Still can't get my head around cold showers and ice baths. I know, he's amazing, isn't he? Wim Hof is the master of cold environments. It's all about controlling. Hold on. It's all about controlling your breathing. Oh no, I wasn't breathing properly. I was literally screaming. I will investigate that. Thank you. Always. I do understand. I listen and watch everything on a plane. Oh, I can't bear it. I've just been on planes so much this year. I worked out. It's September now, and I've been on 10 long hauls. Like, I feel like I'm just, Heathrow is now my second, it's like my home now, Heathrow. It's literally insane with how much travel that has been going on. And it's all about to kickstart again, because I come back so Shanghai this week, Monday through to Friday night. Then I come back for 3 weeks. Then I have to run to India and then go to China. And then the whole American thing starts yanking up again. So it's like I'm on this cogwheel and I'm trying to figure out collections for autumn winter 25 at the same time as finishing off spring summer. I mean, there's a lot. There's just a lot. What kind of lighting would you use in a small dark green bathroom? I've painted the walls and ceilings, put mirrors up, but I need some accent lighting. Any kind of, if you've got, in a bathroom, you probably haven't got sockets, right? Because of the water and the mist. So any kind of, I haven't got an example to show you, but any kind of portable would be amazing. The thing with portables is they're either USB or battery, and then you can just put them anywhere, on stools, on shelves, anywhere. And then you just get these lovely pockets of glow, and they make a really big difference. Hallway with not much light. I would go like a really softy pink. I would go really softy pink or a muted toffee. The thing is, if you've got a room with not a lot of light, wisdom goes, which is wrong, paint it in a light colour because it will make it feel bigger. All that does is show you the corners of the room, which actually make it feel smaller. So if you go for a warm, soft, pinky toffee type of colour, you'll see, like over here, how the corners recede. So you're not reading the room, and basically you're creating this kind of mystery. So any kind of soft, earthy, warm, like, for me, like, I feel all homes should kind of wrap you up in this snuggly hug. Like, I've got this thing about feeling cocooned and cozy. So I love using warm colours. So if you can use warm colours in a hallway with not a lot of lateral light, whether it's dark or mid-tone or soft, it would look lovely. Your hair looks amazing up, or you're very kind. I hated it. Are your classes available on the website on a monthly basis? They are not. Last 2 classes of the year, and that's it. That's it, because the travelling then begins again. I find it easier at the end, really invigorating. Do you? Maybe I should try at the end. I feel like I've worked out, and then I'm sweaty, and then I have to get in, and then it's horrible. It's horrible. And then, how's the weather? Sunny. Look, this is the weather. See? Sunny. Nice. T-shirty weather. I mean, I'm going to Shanghai and it's 40 degrees. I can't even, like, if you have long curly hair and you go to a country that's really humid, I can't even tell you what that kind of does to the whole hair. It's just so bad. But this is how it's looking kind of right now. So look, it's really sunny. And all of these trees in the garden are beginning, look at the state of the garden. You probably can't see it very well here, but all of these trees in the garden are beginning to drop their leaves. So I feel like there's just going to be quite a lot of work. Not a fan of cold water. I know. Please come back to Melbourne. Oh my God, Melbourne for 3 days was literally awful. I mean, amazing. But to go to Melbourne for 3 days, I was longer in a plane than I was almost in Melbourne, but I loved it. And thank you to everybody who came to my keynote speech. I really, really loved it. And actually, I actually really enjoyed flying Emirates, because Emirates has got the most massive plane ever. So you don't hear so much turbulence, and I wasn't so like, oh, what's that noise? What's that noise? What's that noise? So I kind of want to fly everywhere on Emirates, but it's not quite possible. Painting kitchen, pickle and dining room smudge. Have to recover high stalls. What colour fabric do you think? I've got them in this kind of like really sort of grey colour, which is actually quite nice, or a pinky colour would be lovely. I'm starting to think for floors, for an extension. Do you have concrete floors with rugs? Yes, so all the floors here are concrete with rugs. Let me just show you. Concrete with rugs, or upstairs, wooden. Don't judge me, my cleaner hasn't come until Monday, so they're a bit of a mess. Upstairs are wooden with rugs, and wooden, oh, it's the Smirtly thing. This is Wattles. She's got this thing, it's a bit rude, Wattles, about showing her toms, but she has the best tummy in the world, and she always wants a tummy rub, and we have to do tummies. Oh, I don't know how many times a day, Wattles. How many times a day are we doing tummies? Anyway, when it comes to rugs and floorboards with rugs are great. I painted mine pretty much the same colour as my walls, like you can see here and out here, so you can see here. But it's so kind of personal and up to you about how you want. Oh, let's plonk down here for a second. How you want everything to look. I kind of thought that, you know, this house is 1860, so I didn't want to change all the floors, and just painting them out the same colour as the walls really worked. How often are your classes available on the website? They're not on the website. They're in person. I've been making beetroot soup, and I've got beetroot all over my phone, so you probably can't see this, but my phone is covered with splodges of beetroot. I have a concrete floor, it's amazing. Yeah, underfloor heating is amazing. You live in Sydney. Do you know I love Sydney? I absolutely love Sydney. It's such a beautiful city. I think when you have a city where you have the ocean and the warmth, and it's hilly, and the food scene is amazing, it just kind of makes such a difference. Colour drenching in the hallway will make it feel bigger. Totally. Yes, there's like, I'm going to probably say this till I'm 500 years old, right? When you paint everything out the same colour. So when you paint out don't worry about the floors, because you never read a room looking down, but when you paint out your skirts, your skirting boards, and your windowsills and your door frames all the same colour, look. It just looks bigger, and it's not broken up with all of these joins, which just look awful. So it will totally make any room look bigger. My dark hallway is coloured drenched in olive, and black wooden stairs looks bigger and definitely more cosy. 100%. I said about Sydney as the floor is always cold. Interesting. Interested in doing wall interiors with block printed wall hanging. Nice, you can totally do that. I think screaming will stress the body. I was screaming, and every time I do it, which is every morning, I scream. 100%. But you need to stress the body. I mean, my body is pretty much stressed all the time. But it's actually a good thing to stress the body. And if you want to calm the body, so many different things you can do. Like my sauna blanket, watching Housewives. I'm about to download. How many episodes? I worked out, because I can't sleep when I'm away. I can't sleep anyway through the night. Last night, I think I got 3 hours. And I worked out that I need 3 series of Housewives to get me through the flight, which is 12 hours one way, 12 hours back, and then I have 3 days in Shanghai where I'm awake from like 2 a.m. So I'm just gonna watch Housewives. There's so much beetroot on this phone. I'm just gonna watch Housewives the whole time. And I don't know what's gonna happen, because when my Housewives series is run out, I'm super screwed. So I need to be asking you for lots of box sets to watch. We've added a dado rail to add interest and break up the wall a bit. Have looked at artwork and baskets, but everything looks so bitty on the walls. Have a look at unsplash.com. So unsplash.com is where photographers give their work for free. And there's portraits and there's landscapes and there's black and white and color and sepia. And you can take it to a printer and print it any size and go supersize. The more that you can supersize something, the cooler it will actually look. Sydney is iconic. I left London and felt home. Do you know what? I'm really jealous. I'm super, super jealous that you're living in Sydney. We have black metal windows fitted. They look amazing from the inside out because they pull the garden in, but are quite harsh. How can I soften the look? I think it depends. If you can have softer, darker colours on the inside, like I have, it will look absolutely amazing. What do you do to relax amongst all the craziness? Well, let me think. I garden. Kind of quite like getting messy. So I garden. I would go to a farmer's market, read a book, I'm really into my sauna blanket by My High. I mean, there's tons on the market where you just kind of sweat and then you have a shower. So I kind of do stuff like that. That doesn't really happen in the week because my days are about 12 to 13 hours. So it doesn't really happen in the week. Oh, and cooking. Right. Who's your favorite housewife? Do you know I want to be a housewife? That's like my ultimate dream. I want to be a housewife. I want to be an LA housewife where I want to have lunches. I want to wander around in a caftan. I want to walk up a mountain. That's it. Have a coffee. That's all I want. In the heat. Nice. Who is my favorite housewife? You know what? It depends on which series you're talking about. So I haven't watched any of Atlanta, so I'm massively into Atlanta right now because I was so behind and there's like 15 series and I'm now on series 13, so I would say Kendra, but it really depends on which series. What do you think of black toilets? I want to get one for our warm dark green downstairs toilet, but my husband thinks it will be weird. Ignore your husband. Black toilets with dark walls are really amazing. A vintage colour toilet would be iconic. I'm scared of flying. I haven't got time to go to a hypnotherapist. I mean, I get it, and lots of people do, but no, I can't. I just have to, what do? I used to have a drink. I don't really drink much anymore. What do? Deep breathe. Oh, I know. I go into this zone. So when I'm on the plane, I just kind of massively, massively deep breathe. And then I have this stuff that I like, this room spray, which I just spritz everywhere. And then I open my book and I start reading. And then as soon as the plane starts going up, headphones go on full volume. And then that's kind of how you'll find me. But I don't know. There's something about, I think it's just because you're in a tin can and you're hurtling through the air. And also I've been on some planes where there's been some, oh God, I can't bear it, turbulence. And so that just kind of freaks me out. And everything, like I'm just super paranoid. So like everything is crossed like this, fingers are crossed like this, legs are crossed like this. And so I'm on the plane and Jem's like, are you like, particularly if we've been delayed before taking off, Jem's like, are you not going to uncross everything? And I'm like, no, I'm crossing everything because I don't know. It's just a little control thing. Oh, and then what do? Yeah, no, that's kind of eat. And I don't eat on the plane because I can't bear plane food. So I have water and then some cashews. That's pretty much it. And then sit there watching Housewives, in my case tomorrow, for 12 hours. 11 hours, 45 minutes will be me throughout the day. Good morning. If you had to use a tablecloth, what would you use? Oh, something linen with torn edges and a really beautiful natural brown colour. Go for colour drenching your hallway. I went from white to rain. Oh, to rain is beautiful without windows and everyone loves it. Everyone will love it. Can your online lamps be plugged into an Australian power circuit? The trouble with sending stuff to you guys, and something that is on my list to do, but because of the American expansion, I've taken my finger off the ball, is it will be so expensive to transfer it to you. So I would just go for the portables and the lightest ones because delivery to Australia is really hard. Selling Sunset, I kind of didn't really get into it, but you know what I did get into? Ryan, oh God, can't remember his name. He used to be on Selling New York. I love Ryan, and they've done a whole series on him, and he's a real estate agent in New York, I'm very much into New York because I'm there so much. And I really loved that. And I watched that so quickly. Emily in Paris is also really sweet. I love Emily in Paris. Emily in Paris is like a little sort of romantic-y thing to watch if you're, just before you go to bed, or if you're on a plane, or you just want to while away a few hours. And Ryan, I wish I could remember the name, Selling Manhattan, I want to say it's called, is lovely. Supersized pics, yes, unsplash.com is the website. Photographers, there's so much beetroot on this phone. Photographers have given their work to unsplash.com for free, and you can download it and you just send it to your regular printer, and you want to go as large as you possibly can. The larger you have in a room, the larger pieces that you have in a room, and you don't want lots of large pieces in a room, you just need like 1 or 2 or no more than 2 really. You're adding such grandeur and you're sprinkling your room with fairy dust magic. And I think a lot of people go wrong because everything is perfectly proportioned. Everything is like just the right size, and then it just looks a bit catalogy that any kind of mass retailer would do. So you really want to kind of play around with scale. Thank you, I ignore him. I know how to wear big heels. The leopard print platforms are my favorite. I know I'm a bit of a fan of wedgie shoes. Trying to choose a warm neutral white. However, when I paint on the various walls in the house, they look entirely, I would go cream, not white. Ignore white. In this country, we have very northern light, right? With northern light, there's blue undertones in it, and blue undertones and white are a real no-no. So I would go more of a creamy vibe than a white vibe. Valium. Oh, I could take Valium. That'll probably knock me out. Or a gummy. Like when I was in Palm Springs, everyone was taking gummies. Jem's like, should we have a gummy? I'm like, no, I'm too goody two-shoes to do gummies. But yeah, no, I probably need to just, the thing is, I've got to get off the plane at 1 a.m. our time, UK time, which I think is 8 a.m. Shanghai time on Tuesday. And I've got to go straight to a factory and start work on autumn winter 25. So I have to be quite lucid. Otherwise, can you imagine what I might put in? It might go really wrong. So I think I better just stick to the water and the cashews and maybe a mint tea. Have you been to Boston? I used to live in America. I used to go to Boston a lot. I love all the colonial houses up and down our East Coast. I love towns that have a lot of past architecture. Yes, Boston, loved. Used to live very near Flying My Watching the Full List of Nighty Night. I haven't heard of Nighty Night. Melbourne Housewives is the best. I would recommend that one. Oh, Melbourne Housewives. Okay, thank you. I've got medication. It knocks me out, but didn't help with the anxiety. Yeah, I feel that if I get knocked out, it's going to really screw up the next year's collection. And the anxiety is horrible. I'm so with you on the anxiety. Every ear is attuned. Like every ear is attuned to what's that noise? Is the cabin crew looking a bit stressed? I once had to fly on an airline that no one had ever heard of. And I was in the queue for the loo. The captain came out. It was a really small airline. The captain came out of the cockpit in a tracksuit and looked about 22. And I don't know how I held it together because I wanted to say, get back on the wheel. Just get back in the wheel. Don't go to the loo. And he was wearing a tracksuit. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, it literally, and I came back to Jem and I'm like, there's a captain and he's in the loo and he's not flying the plane and he's in a tracksuit. And it just, I know that they don't fly the plane, but I need to feel that they're flying the plane at all times, alert. And the fact that he was in a tracksuit and looked about 22, he might have been or he might not have been, just literally freaked me out the whole time. So I was like alert the whole flight. Anyway, I just bloody hate it. Selling Sunsets on Netflix. Buying Manhattan, thank you. Love Ryan. He's such a good egg, Ryan. I want to, see, I see a series and I'm like, I want to be a real estate agent in New York. I want to sell Manhattan. I love Ryan. I love Ryan's work ethic because Ryan is a really good boss, I feel. He manages people really well. And one of the hardest things I find about having a business, and we just celebrated 21 years in August, is it's so hard being a boss, I find. And I love my team, but I just find the whole kind of the managing of the business side, it's quite exhausting. Please can I ask if you have or will getting any rugs that will go with a similar sofa colour to yours? Yes. So many. So I get back off the plane next weekend and then I'm going straight into a massive photo shoot where lots of rugs are being shot. Lots. Housewives of Cheshire. I can't do Housewives of UK. I just cannot be interested in Housewives of UK, and I don't even know why. I need it to feel more exotic. Does that make sense? Oh, Daniel Dagger show on Netflix, Buying London. Thank you. I haven't even known about Buying London. Love your lives. You suggested to paint my toilet burnt caramel, which I totally love the thought of. Does this include the ceiling? Always a ceiling. Always. Was it $1 Million? No, $1 Million Listing I used to watch, but now it's more, that's no longer on Netflix, and now it's morphed off into the Ryan thing, Buying Manhattan. I generally love flying. You're very lucky. But think the airlines were taking the piss when they had the first episode of Lost. Oh my God. I mean, don't. That's really mad. What do you do to prepare your garden for winter? Absolutely nothing. With the blower of the leaves. That's it. Oh, mulching. That's it. That's literally it. Oh, thank you. This is from Cos. It's like a parachutey. I'm into this kind of parachutey vibe with big, kind of like oversized things. It's kind of got big, puffy, sleevey things. Where can we buy your paint? Our paint factory got bought out by Dulux, so they shut down with no warning really to us. So we've had to suspend all paint sales. However, all paint is going to be relaunched with new colours in February 1. And also with this new partnership, we will also be able to sell it in America and internationally because they have warehouses all over. So it means that our paint colours for the first time ever will be able to go international, which is really amazing. You love flying. You're lucky. Paradise, the manufacturers of lighting decor. Okay, beautiful home. Are you in the UK? Yes. CBD oil. I haven't thought about CBD oil. I know, the tracksuited captain. You can't. I never really thought, like, does a captain then change into like comfy clothes when they're flying? And if they do, then please don't show me. Please have another Captain Lou where I'm not in a queue with you and you look really young and you're in a tracksuit, because it just was like, please get back in the cockpit and please just be alert all times, eyes straight. I don't think that's trailing asparagus, it's grass bush, I think you're talking about, is back in stock. I flew to Italy on airlines years ago and the pilot, very handsome. It helps if you have a handsome pilot, was leaning out of the window of the cockpit with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, checking out the women boarding. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't know. Below deck. I like below deck. Will you hire more people? Yes, we're always expanding. Oh, Melbourne, I will look at Melbourne, I will. Housewives of Cheshire, but there's a show called Ladies of London which got cancelled and had 3 seasons. Housewives of London. Yeah, I don't want to be a housewife of London somehow. I don't know, I think there's just something about, I don't know, I'm a bit funny with programmes in this country. I have a red rust-coloured sofa, not sure what colours go for the walls and floors. Calicos and creams and these kind of colours. Look how soft that colour is, would just look so beautiful. And greens would also look really, really lovely. But lots of neutrals will totally help you out. I love Tracy Tudor and Josh Flagg on $1 Million Listing. Oh, I don't know that. Did you see Ryan renovating his house? Yes, I love Ryan. I just love Ryan. Isn't it funny that we fear flying, which is the safest form of transport? We get in a car, which is far more dangerous. I know. The thing for me is, I'm in a tin can and I'm in the middle, like I'm just up there. Like I can't just stop and get out. Like it's just the tin can thing. And then I wouldn't be so, I don't know, it's the noises. God. I mean, we're flying, Virgin have literally, they're emailing me as they go, as we're talking, going, are you prepared for your flight? I mean, I'm flying Virgin, so I don't know. Let's not talk about my flying anxiety. Otherwise, I'll start having to take anti-anxiety pills. I mean, my flight isn't till midday tomorrow, so I need to like zen it in. And I don't think it's a wonderful Emirates plane, so it will probably be noisier. But also because of the war, a load of airlines are no longer flying to China because they have to go via Russia, which takes even longer on the plane. So Virgin are stopping all flights to Russia at the end of this month, and BA, I think I might be on BA in October. are flying into Hong Kong, but they've really reduced the number of flights. Can we have little mushroom lights in earthy colours? Good point. You love me. Thank you very much. I've tried CBD. They gave you a headache, did they? I mean, really, I just need to... I think the whole thing is... I need to not be quite so anxious when I fly, and I wish I could just have a glass of wine and be fine, but... what will your paint brand be named after Dulux? Still our name. So still our name. Fusion stress and anxiety pills, ashwagandha. I'm taking ashwagandha, the best for flying. It's not helping me sleep though, I have to say. Thank you for saying you love my top. Drongo, oh, a Drongo is one of our linen lights. Go in the brownie colour, beautiful. You've medication which I don't always take for flying. Oh, really? I'm just so logical and I've taken it. Hate flying at night. I actually prefer flying at night. I don't know why, because I feel that I'm tired anyway, because my day starts so early, like at 5 a.m. So when I'm flying at night, I'm more in a kind of almost a chilled out zone. Not that I sleep, but I sort of go into more of a chilled out zone. And when I'm flying through the day, like tomorrow, through the day, I'm quite awake and alert. So it's like every little, do you know what I mean? It's weird. I was a cabin manager for 11 years. If they look freaked out, then you should get worried. Okay. Listen, I've been scared of flying for hundreds of years and it has only gotten worse as I've got older. And I used to rationalise it and now I don't rationalise it at all. Like, I think that's just that anxiety thing. Like, cross this, otherwise the plane won't fly, or the plane will crash, or tap this 3 times. I mean, it's literally ridiculous. I travel with someone who's my sister is very, just a lot more sensible than me. So she'll constantly sort of tell me to just, shut up or that's why I can't talk to her. I say, what's that noise? And she'll be like, oh, that sounds really bad. And I'm like, oh my God. So I can't really talk to her on a plane. I need to get 6 chandeliers for a classic Georgian flat with high ceilings. Any suggestions? I think it really depends whether you want to go super glam, like here, do you see? Which is quite glass, or whether you want to go softer work. I mean, for me, I've got chandeliers in every single room of the house. Like I've got this one over there, that one made of ceramic, and a glass one here. It's quite nice if you keep them a certain size. So they don't have to be related in materiality, but it's quite nice if you can keep them quite a big size, because I know it sounds really odd, but the larger and grander that you can go with scale, whether that's botanicals in a vase or a chandelier hanging from a ceiling, it makes such a difference to a room and it adds such grandeur. So I would encourage you to do that. I'm coming to visit the showroom. We don't have a showroom, we have a store. I think that's what you mean. At the end of the month, what else can you recommend in the area? Well, in Islington, Camden Passage is super sweet. The canal runs from just off of Camden Passage to a really little cafe called Towpath, which is beautiful. And you sit there and you have a coffee and all ducks quack by. I mean, I can't go so much because Wirtz just wants to eat the ducks and create such a scene. So not that we've been banned, but it's a bit awkward with ducks and Wirtz. And then there's a lovely restaurant right next to Waterstones, which is on the Green, and Ottolenghi. And then there's a whole kind of shopping area on Upper Street. There's kind of lots to do. I used to be cabin crew. Oh, it's so nice speaking to cabin crew. I want my own plane. If I could just have my own plane and my own captain, this is my goal. Own plane, own captain, then it would all be fine. And I would just have this big, massive plane, like the biggest plane possible, and I would be in it with Jem. I could take Monkey and Wirtz, and it would just be fine. I used to be cabin crew. There's normally a captain and co-pilot with autopilot. Thank you. There was a saying, what is the difference between God and a pilot? God doesn't think he's a pilot. Oh my God. Thank you for telling me that. The Parisian agency has amazing properties. Only downside it's dubbed, but you get used to it. I've been told about the Parisian agency. I must watch that actually. Yeah, definitely the noise thing. What colour of paint for a hallway with dark banister and spindle, and then tartan green carpet? I would say, okay, so you've got tartan green carpet, maybe a really beautiful brown, like a really soft baked clay, biscuity latte colour could look really beautiful. What colour do you think might work on a split level house, open kitchen, dining room? Well, I would choose what depth of colour you want to go, right? So for me, I've gone quite inky and dark because I kind of love the dark side. It feels really cocoon. So I would work out what colour palette you adhere to. Do you love darks? Do you love mid-tones? Do you love warm? Do you love cool? I would encourage you, even if you live in a hot country like Australia, to go cool, because adding warmth to warmth makes such a difference. So choose one color and stay within that saturation level. So let's say it's a burnt toffee, and then you go into a lovely green of the same depth. It's kind of working out your depth. For me, it's beautiful sludgy brownie greens, it's brownie blacks, it's brownie pinks, it's browns. That's kind of what I really gravitate towards, because they're really cocooning and grounding, and they kind of wrap me up in this biggest hug. If you have a stone fireplace in your living room, does it have to be the centerpiece of furniture placement? No, not at all. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. You just work out what you want the eye to go to. Flight Bark Airlines, the dogs would chill you out. Bark Airlines? I don't think I've ever heard of Bark Airlines. Thank you. Do they fly to China and America? Because that's where I tend to live these days. Jasper's Homes, is that a TV programme? I don't know. I was once at Heathrow waiting for a son, and the whole Emirates crew walked through as like a film. So much glamour. So glamorous. And also the thing is with Emirates, like all the women are so glamorous. And when you have, when you get on a plane where everybody just looks super glamorous and like they're in a movie, it's quite reassuring, isn't it? Rather than like the kind of the scrag look that I rock up on a plane, which is not groomed or glamorous. It just gives you a sense of kind of, I love Emirates. It's the pain about Emirates is the plane doesn't go everywhere, and you have to stop in Dubai and then go up again. And I've got all of this ear problem. I can't decompress, so I have to whack in a load of codeine in order to go down, because my ears are just in agony. And so I have to be really conscious. Like I generally have to go direct. Must have been a small airline, rest assured they're normally in their uniforms. It was, oh really? It was called Shenzhen Air. It was a Chinese airline, and it was really small, and I can't even remember. Often 3 pilots on very long flights, they go for testing. Every 6 months, okay. It was a really small airline. Would love another live regarding health and supplements. Ditto night flights for me all the way. I will do something. I'm doing bits threaded into the feeds on supplements. So I think I'm on about, I don't know how many supplements a day now. 12 or 13. And Wild Nutrition and Planet Organic are generally where I go, but I will do something. I find it strange that people are not concerned about being in a lump of metal in the sky. I know, it's not normal. I know it's the safest form of travel, but it's just not normal. And all my anxiety, like the day before or the night before, I'm having to so I'm going to take the dogs for a walk in a minute. This will make you think I'm totally neurotic. So Monkey's really slow because he's old, and Works is really fast because she's young. So this is how I walk. Like she's pulling this way and he's like barely walking this way. So I walk down the street like this. And before I fly, I say to myself, don't step on the lines of the paving slabs, because that's really bad luck and you're going to have plane problems. So I'm walking down the path like this, and it's just all of these stupid little things that kind of reassure me that the plane's going to be okay, which generally begins like 24 hours before I fly. It's really bad. And then any books that help you running a business, oh God. Yes and no. Wait, I'm going to get you a book. Oh, I'm stuck in one position. I'm going to get you a book, which is really good. Oh, hold on. Right, yes, you need to read this. This is what you need to read. This lady, Tanya Sani, is in her 70s and ran the business called Ghost. It's such an amazing book. And it just makes you, like if you're in a business that's expanding like mine, it makes you kind of worry about investors and not having them. It's a really good book. I would recommend it. I'm going to do something on the grid on it as well. She's just been through a lot. And the more business books that you can read, the better. Business is always, and someone very high up told me this, if you run your own business, you guys don't see a lot of this stuff, when you run your own business, but when you run your own business, every day there's some kind of storm or headwind. There's not a day when something bad has not happened. And I don't mean that melodramatically. I mean, there's always issues. Factories not finishing on time, factories doing completely the wrong thing, the price of containers going up, they're not having enough stock, having too much stock. There's just constant headwinds, which as the founder, you kind of have to take into your stride and battle. And in the beginning, I found it really depressing. Like, it would really get me down because I just couldn't understand how we couldn't catch a break. Like, why can't we catch a break? Like, why? And then someone really high up who runs this really incredible business who I really respect, he said to me, it's never going to be that, Abby. There's always going to be issues. There's never not going to be headwinds. Like, you just have to, it's how you deal with them and how you resolve them. And that really shows growth. So if you're starting out on a business or you have your own business, and if you feel that it's not quite where you want it to be, just hear me when I say that's not unique. It's so normal for so many businesses to just feel like, oh, can I ever catch a break? So don't worry. Thank you so much. I will go big then. Go big. It makes such a difference. Many airlines do a day course that really help. I don't know if I can do a day course on an airline. I know it's supposed to really help, I know. And because I'm on so many planes a year, I probably should. I kind of just want an Emirates plane and a captain. And then I'll be happy. Can you recommend a nice hotel with a good vibe? Oh, have a look at all the Soho Home hotels. They're really beautiful. Depending on where you're going in the world, actually, but generally, Soho Home have lovely chain of hotels that look super beautiful. In an ideal world, what do you envisage the brand Abigail Ahern to be in 10 years? That's really interesting. I think that for Gemini, sitting really awkwardly, our expansion into America has kind of changed the dynamic of the business because it's doing incredibly well. And it was quite unexpected and not really thought about. It was quite organic. So because of what's happening in America, a lot of things are having to change in the business in order to upscale and cope with that. So I don't want lots of bricks and mortar stores. 20 years ago, I wanted bricks and mortar stores in every country, in Milan, in Paris, in London, in New York. I wanted a bricks and mortar store everywhere. I don't want that anymore. I really don't want that anymore. What I'm really obsessed about, which I really love, is we have our flagship, we have a really big online presence, we sell internationally, but we also design and sell products to lots of other stores around the world, and that's kind of what I really want to do. So to increase and the amount of people that know us online, to have more warehouses in other countries where we can ship really easily and reasonably, and also to have a really strong wholesale business in the US. Every time I go to Islington, I bump into Sue Pollard. That's so funny. Can you recommend a London hotel? Oh gosh, London. Have a look at the Hoxton on the South Bank. So Borough Market, I was there yesterday. It was quite a nice place to hang around. And the Hoxton on the South Bank is quite sweet. Bark Airlines fly to America. I'm a bit worried about an airline called Bark. I don't know why. It kind of worries me. Why is it called Bark? Can't it just be called... It feels like that's a bit... Anyway, I will look at it. Thank you. Glasses are from Cubits, and they have this paddle thing. Look. They're nice, eh? Love your glasses. You should find out what model type of plane you're on with Emirates. I know, I need to buy it. That's my plan. I need to kind of buy it. I'd like to change my white kitchen walls, have dark olive green units and white marble worktops. Any advice? So you have white kitchen walls. If you have dark olive green units, which look nice, I would imagine, because that's a lovely colour, think about a really soft pink, like a setting plaster, or a lovely burnt toffee. That could look lovely. Is there a ratio to the size of lamp to base? No, do not worry. I have a lamp that looks a bit like a Grecian vase. Lovely. Professional help. I know. I think a psychologist would need me to be in there for quite a long time. It must be awful for you and worrying about this when you travel. It is awful for me. But I kind of, I know. I kind of just manage it, you know? I've had it for so many years. I just kind of manage it. It's really bad. I really hate it. I hate it. But I don't know. I think I just kind of manage it. But yes, I probably should see a psychologist on all sorts of levels. I'm picturing your dog walk. It's niche. It's so niche. This only happens before flying. Because then, like 24 hours before, I've got to go, okay, just make sure I don't step on that line or that. I mean, it's completely mad. What is the grid you just referenced to earlier? No, the grid, sorry, is my Instagram feed, which is called The Grid, so you can see all the past stories on the grid. Also, did you hear TED Talks, the best presentation of successful people? Oh, nice. Let's all look at, I know about TED Talks. I've never had time to look at it. I know. It's the same in life, always conflict, just how you respond. So true. It really is. Flexibility and agility is the only way for business. So true. Also, you know what's really helped me with business is working out. Like, I don't think I really paid enough attention to the clarity I get in my head when I've worked out, as opposed to when I didn't work out. So this morning I did 47 minutes and quite a lot of weights, and I felt I hate exercising. I do it, but I hate it. But the feeling afterwards is so good. And it just gave me kind of real clarity, and I felt quite powerful. And I think that's the great thing with exercise. So no matter what age you are and when you begin it, it makes such a difference mentally. And that's being strong mentally when you're running a business is one of the biggest things. So that's why I kind of changed my eating, don't have all that bloating feeling anymore, exercising more, and it just puts you in a stronger position. What do I think of Elon Musk? I'm trying to be polite. I can't be polite about Elon Musk, I'm afraid. Bark Airlines is primarily for flying dogs first class. Oh, okay. Dogs first class. Works. Do you fancy coming to China with me? Actually, she's not going to China. I'd probably eat her. To America. Okay, God, I'm definitely looking at that. Long haul planes, generally 777 or A380. I don't work for Bark, by the way, but I have dogs. Oh, thank you for telling me. It was an A380. It was so huge. The Emirates flights, those are amazing, but there are other airlines using them. Singapore and Air France. Okay, so that's what I need. An A380. We have setting plaster on our sitting room ceiling. It's such a great colour. It's lovely. Right, 2 more questions, and then I have to go because then I have a busy afternoon. I have to walk the dogs. I have to blend the soup. I have to vac the garden. I haven't packed, but then I'm taking like 3 things because it's 40 degrees. And I think it's 40 degrees and raining, which is not ideal. Shanghai. I'd love to know what you thought about living in the US. I loved living in the US. I had to come back due to visas. If I didn't have to come back due to visas, I wouldn't have come back. 100%. But then, it's funny because that was, 30 years ago. And coming back has given me this business, this life. So I don't know what my life would have been if I'd stayed in America. So there's kind of, it's hard when you live in another country because especially when you go back a lot like I am now, I'm working there a lot. It's like it was then because I really enjoyed it. So it kind of pulls you a bit. It pulls you. There's a lot of conflict when I go back now because it feels so natural. There's a team out there. It just feels, it's very nice. And it's quite hard. But I love it. I'm not moaning. I'm struggling to find a lamp I can read by. Any suggestions? You need like a little LED. I think John Lewis saw quite good ones. The new Dreamliner is a great plane too. Long haul. I did the London-Darwin flight on the one 17 hours and it was great. That was with Qantas. Thank you. Exercise is massive. 100%. It really is. I do build your courage, so anxious. I've never flown. I must try 66 and my son lives in Hong Kong. Please go. Please go. I go to Hong Kong all the time. I'm in Hong Kong in about 4 weeks' time. You'll love Hong Kong. Please go. And I know anxiety, it's just when you have anxiety, it's really hard when people go, don't be silly. If you do it, you'll feel so powerful. If you can get over that hurdle of it, please go. If you can possibly go, please go, because your son lives there and you'll get so much out of it. And once you're in the air, like for me, it's generally kind of okay. It's the going up, I'm all right coming down because then I've got exit plans of like, okay, parachutes, I'm going to somehow get out. It's the going up. But please go because Hong Kong is an incredible city. There's an incredible food scene. It's steamy, but if you can get one of those boats to one of the islands, please go. I know I sound I don't want to undermine the anxiety because I get the anxiety, but you're missing out on something. So please go, honestly. Can you advise colour to go with leopard print carpet? Or creamy, calico-y, burnt toffee. Had the joy of working across regions and we flew private and it was transforming. I need a plane. This was when I lived and worked in New York City. I know, I need my own plane. I should crowdfund. If I crowdfunded, do you think that you could buy me a plane? Would be really nice. Once you live in another country, you're forever with one. I know, you're 1 foot. I'm constantly 1 foot. And also, I think going back as a holiday is very different than going back to working. So yeah, I love living in Europe. I miss that. Thank you. We're auto setting plaster. It's lovely. Looking fabulous as ever, by the way. Thank you. I'll try and do some stories on Shanghai, but remember I'm in the air all day tomorrow and in the air all day Friday. Have a great trip to China. Another great live. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Safe journey. Thank you. Thank you guys. Have an amazing Sunday. And I'm back really late Friday night. So hopefully I'll be okay to do a live next Sunday. Small planes give more turbulence. I know. We're not talking about planes. We're going to make beetroot soup. We're going to walk the dogs and have a lovely. You can give me £5. Okay. I need a bit more than that for buying a jet. But thank you guys. See you soon. Bye.